This is the modern prison. There are no iron bars here, only fabric partitions and drop ceilings. Listen to the noise. The relentless, high-pitched shrill of desk phones ringing in harmony. The frantic, mindless clacking of hundreds of plastic keyboards. The low, hypnotic buzz of fluorescent lights that slowly suck the life and color from everything underneath them. It smells like stale coffee, cheap printer ink, and quiet desperation. And buried right in the middle of this gray maze is Sam. Sam doesn't want to be here. Every single time a phone rings, it feels like another heavy steel link is being welded onto the chain that binds him to this desk. He looks down the long, endless hallway and he sees his terrifying future, 30 more years of answering to middle managers, sitting through pointless meetings, and trading the absolute best years of his life for mere fractions of a penny. But then, the clock strikes 12. A heavy bell rings out in Sam's mind. 12 p.m. For exactly 60 minutes, the chains are loosened. It is his lunch break. For the rest of his co-workers, this is simply the time to gossip in the break room. It's a time to chew on a cold sandwich and complain about the weather. But for Sam, this is his escape hatch. For a part-time trader trapped in a full-time job, the lunch break is a battlefield. It represents 60 minutes to conquer the market. 60 minutes to execute the perfect setup. 60 minutes to make enough money to finally break free from this fluorescent nightmare. The pressure doesn't just sit on his shoulders, it actively suffocates him. Every minute wasted is a minute he could have spent buying his freedom. Before Sam even opens his trading platform today, he makes his very first, entirely fatal error. He opens his banking app. He stares at the checking account balance. The number is incredibly small, almost pathetic in its font size. It isn't enough. It's never enough. The rent is due by the end of the week. The car needs 2 new tires before the winter snow starts heavily falling. Credit card interest is compounding against him while he sits in a cubicle. Suddenly, today isn't just about sticking to his carefully written trading plan. Today isn't about logic, or ratios, or probabilities. Today is about survival. He feels a burning, desperate need to make money today. He feels like the market owes him a victory. Watch his eyes dart back and forth. The clock is ticking down relentlessly. 12:15, 12:20. A third of his precious lunch break has already evaporated into the void. He leans his face closer to the glowing monitor, seeking salvation in the pixels. The chart before him is an absolute mess. It's a mangled web of sideways price action. But Sam isn't seeing reality anymore. When your back is against the wall, you only see what you desperately want to see. He forces a trade right into the dead center of the lunchtime void. He completely ignores the glaring reality that the institutional volume has died out. The algorithmic bots and the big players are at lunch too. The market is asleep. But Sam sees a tiny, sharp twitch upwards. He convinces himself it's a breakout. He takes the bait. The trap springs shut immediately. There is no hesitation. The market is entirely merciless. The market chop isn't simply price action, right now, to Sam, it is a living, breathing, malicious villain. It whispered a false promise of instant wealth, lured him into the deep water, and then violently pulled the rug right out from under his feet. Sam's heart begins slamming against his ribs like a caged animal. You can almost hear it pounding through his chest. The false signal catches him instantly. The red line completely annihilates his stop-loss like a hot knife sliding through melted butter. His one single hour of escape has rapidly transformed into a suffocating, airtight box of pure panic. The shock freezes his blood, but only for a moment. Then, the incredibly destructive urge for revenge trading kicks into overdrive. He actively averages down on a losing position. He aggressively clicks his mouse furiously, throwing his incredibly hard-earned good money after bad. He is completely lost to the emotional storm, unable to see the shore. By 12:55 p.m., his trading account doesn't just bleed, it violently cascades. His lunch is entirely cold. He hasn't taken a single bite. And now, he has to walk back into his shift. He must sit down at his gray desk feeling utterly defeated, physically stressed, and functionally poorer than when his break began 55 minutes ago. The brutal 9-to-5 has won again, and he handed them the victory. My friend, breathe. Close your eyes, feel the air in your lungs, and just, breathe. I see the immense weight you are choosing to carry right now. I see the absolute desperation in your eyes. But you must realize you are fighting a brutal war against an opponent that does not even know you exist. You are standing in the middle of a violently rushing river, incredibly thirsty. And because you only have a single minute to safely take a drink, you are arrogantly trying to force the river to flow faster. You cannot command the water, Sam. You can only learn how to cup your hands in the current. The grand, unfeeling market does not intimately care about your lunch hour constraints. It does not care that your rent is due on Friday. It operates strictly on its own permanent rhythm. And right now, right in the middle of the day while you are scrambling, the market is resting. It is deeply consolidating its power. And yet, there you are, jumping aggressively into the quiet, still waters, thrashing your arms around, taking on water, and wondering why you are violently drowning. Think of the great, legendary hunter in the deep forest. When the deep woods go completely silent and the animals retreat to rest, the amateur hunter grows incredibly impatient. He cannot stand the stillness. He starts nervously shooting at shadows in the bushes. He completely wastes his limited ammunition on the empty wind out of sheer boredom and crippling fear of missing out. But the master hunter? The master hunter simply sits calmly beneath the oldest oak tree. He patiently sharpens his arrows. He rests his eyes, lowering his heart rate. He waits perfectly still for the prey to naturally reveal itself. You are shooting at mere shadows in the dark, Sam. You are letting the terrifying, ticking clock of your corporate job dictate the delicate timing of your financial trades. Keep this in mind, the massive market is exactly like the great, ancient ocean tide. It violently pushes forward with immense, unstoppable power, and then, it must inevitably pull back. It must retreat into the deep abyss to peacefully gather its energy before the impending rush of the next massive wave. You are frantically trying to surf when the tide is completely, unequivocally flat. I implore you, do not spend your one single hour of peace fighting the brutal chop. The market deeply needs to rest during the middle of the day, and so do you. Your clear, unburdened mind is your absolute greatest trading edge, and right now, out of sheer desperation, you are foolishly dulling your sharpest blade against impenetrable rocks. Step firmly away from the glowing screens. Step boldly back from the financial brink. Simply eat your food. Truly notice the rich taste of it. Breathe the clean air deep into your lungs. Completely reset your mind. The absolute best, most profitable trades will only reveal themselves when both you and the market are fully refreshed and ready to dance. The crippling, suffocating tension completely leaves Sam's stickman body. The terrifying grip of the 9-to-5 loosens its hold on his mind, not because he miraculously made $1 million in 60 minutes, but because he finally took back absolute control of his mind. He forcefully takes his lunch break back from the market. And for the very first time all week, he actually tastes his food.